Hello honeys, I've collected all 59 Christmas chords featured in the Aikatsu anime, DCD game, and Photokatsu, and I've put them all together for you. Enjoy!
じゃあ行くよ
59 Orange Santa. I feel a little bad for Orange Santa because a lot of my critiques come down to illustration quality, but for a Santa themed design this is still quite lacking. The umbrella style peplum top is strangely sharp and flat, and the black accents are too plain to add any much needed depth. 58 Holiday Ornament. Holiday Ornament is rendered very well, this is a great drawing, but the design is way too messy for my taste. Not only is this a denim dress, which I don't usually like, but it's also covered in clashing patterns and textures, and is overall pretty hard for me to look at. 57 Garden Christmas. Garden Christmas is on theme. That's about it though. I mentioned this chord in my good chord ranking, but I'm not a fan of the bright green they chose or the yellow and red plaid at the bottom. The fluffy trim is nice at least. 56 St. Cool Night. Although I like the design of St. Cool Night, it's not very Christmassy, is it? The only hint we have is the tiny Santa and Christmas tree in the snow globe, and that's not even part of the outfit. As interesting as these textures are, winter motifs aren't going to cut it here. 55 Dra Fairy. You might be wondering how this could possibly be a Christmas chord, but it is. It's a Nutcracker chord representing the sugar plum fairies. I maintain that these aren't the visual motifs we're going for, but it's still a pretty design. 54 Reindeer. I can feel confusion from some of you, but you need to know that reindeer are my favorite part of Christmas. I almost put this kigurumi in my top 10 just for being reindeer themed, but because I have some integrity left, I put it down here. 53 Present for You. Present for You is a little generic for this list. Sure, presents are part of Christmas, but they're also part of a lot of other holidays and events. This is a pretty chord and I like the colors and cut, but the Christmas motifs aren't fully there, at least not the ones I'm looking for. 52 Girly Santa. Girly Santa is the bare minimum to me. The fit is very loose and undefined, and the overall design lacks detail, but this is clearly a Santa-inspired outfit. Classic red suit and white fur trim, those are the basics. I raised this ranking a bit for the boots, those add a sleek touch to the overall silhouette. 51 Happy Heart Santa. Happy Heart Santa is cute. Honestly, if this had a more traditional color scheme, aka red or green, it'd be a lot higher up. The cut and detailing look really carefully crafted, and I think it has a lot of interesting complexity to it. 50 Green Santa. See what I mean? Green Santa shows that the color scheme does matter a lot in terms of establishing the traditional holiday vibe I'm looking for. This simple dress is nowhere near as interesting as Happy Heart Santa, but little details like the holly headband and red ribbon lacing go a long way for the theme. 49 Clara Carol. Sometimes I wonder if I've been too harsh on Clara Carol since it does have a lot of interesting creative choices that feel intentional. We have the gift wrap theme in the pattern and ribbon accents, plus stars and holly to bring in Christmas motifs. Still, the cut of the skirt always feels too awkwardly segmented and droopy to be appealing to me. 48 Sky Nordic. Sky Nordic is hanging onto the Christmas theme by a thread. It's that holly and bell embellishment at the waist that qualifies this as on theme. Aside from that, I do find this silhouette to be very interesting. The crop top and short set is very novel, so I'm overlooking a lot of details I like less. 47 Bright Lime Santa. Bright Lime Santa has benefited from the massive amount of work I put into finding full body photokatsu art. Look at those fluffy white leg warmers. They push the design to way more interesting territory and give great visual rhythm to the red ribbon accents. Neon green and orange aren't my favorite colors, but this is cute. 46 Poinciana Wreath. Do you think spring green can ever work for a Christmas look? Poinciana Wreath is really pushing that question. It feels just a little too bright, since poinsettias are famously dark red and green. The yellow accents really aren't helping that either. The silhouette and textures are both interesting here, but it's not hitting the right color mark for me. 45 Violet Santa. I got this full body art from my own personal Aikatsu library, that's how much effort has gone into this ranking. You can't find those boots documented anywhere online. Anyway, Violet Santa is a fairly basic Santa costume, and we're going to see so many more of these. It's cute, but pretty straightforward. 44 Carol Choir. I appreciate the adjustments that Carol Choir has given to Clara Carol. The skirt looks a lot better, the proportions have been adjusted into less even segments, and the texture of the ruffles has been made more uniform to improve the overall rhythm of the piece. The crop top and smaller shoes also do a great job of clarifying the visual hierarchy and establishing the skirt as the focal point. There's even some asymmetry. The color palette still isn't quite Christmassy enough for me, but this is a big improvement. 43. Girly Tree. Girly Tree is a rare case where the full body art has actually hurt a Coords ranking for me. I adore the dress design here. The gradient block skirt tiers are super cute, and the addition of contrasting shapes for ornaments is great for visual interest. The headband is also very cute, but the boots have none of the charm from the other pieces and almost look unfinished. Disappointing. 42. Neo Glitter Christmas. I almost took Neo Glitter Christmas off of this list for being off theme, but Christmas is in the name, and you could almost convince me that the hat is a Christmas tree or Santa hat shape, but I'm not buying it. This is a gorgeous design, look at those silver stockings, but as I've said before, winter motifs alone aren't going to cut it in this cutthroat holiday environment. 41. Holy Pure Santa. Look at those leg warmers. I've had issues with Holy Pure Santa before in my Angelic Sugar Photokatsu ranking, but that was before I had the whole design in front of me. I still really dislike the large red corset and red ribbon accents, and I don't like the addition of pink and a red and white Christmas palette, but come on. This is one of the cutest, ugliest things I've ever seen. 40. Lacy Poinsettia. Lacy Poinsettia is a design I also had issues with before. It's a much calmer feeling, with my main issue being that triangular arrangement of poinsettia flowers in the front of the design. It's just like Girly Violin, it even has the matching flowers at the ankles that make the whole design lock up into a rigid diamond-shaped visual flow. But even with those critiques, this is a cute enough outfit. 39. White Angel Santa. I'm at war with myself over White Angel Santa. What is this color palette exactly? Red and white we've established as being appropriate here. We know pink is a risky addition. Then we have green, blue, and yellow accents on top of it all. It's a mess, but the cut and silhouette have a lot of genuinely appealing movement that make this design feel dynamic. It's a mixed bag. 38. Rose Glitter Santa. Rose Glitter Santa is another design that's just barely hanging on to its Christmas theme. I understand that Spicy Agahite is committed to its purple butterfly branding, and the skirt has a really interesting zigzag cut, but I want more. More commitment to the theme, more warmth, and more traditional motifs. 37. White Santa. Remember when White Santa was all the Christmas we had? Now we can see just how low the bar was. The white base color with fluffy pink trim is a great starting point, but again we have this awkward triangular arrangement of ribbons in the top and skirt. At the very least, all the holly, bell, and ornament embellishments are able to solidify the theming. 36. Purple Santa. The full-size Santa hat does a lot to make Purple Santa feel more traditional. The materials are still more modern and flashy than I would prefer, especially that dark purple peplum on the skirt, but the mini cape helps make up for it. 35. Midnight Noel. Look at this skirt shape, it's fascinating. I don't know if I've ever seen a silhouette quite like this one. The gothic stripe pattern and teal color palette aren't exactly what I'm looking for, but I admire the prominence of the gold reindeer and sleigh design at the waist. Combined with the gothic skyline print on the skirt, this is a really creative interpretation of the theme. 34. Dark Night Noel. Dark Night Noel is very similar to Midnight Noel, and it was a hard choice because this version obviously lacks that metallic sleigh embellishment that I really liked. But I think for a Christmas design, red goes a long way in establishing the vibrant and warm feeling of the holiday. 33. Apricot Nordic. The Nordic Coords might test a lot of people's definition of a Christmas theme, but for me, the graphic winter motif patterns on them are a Christmas staple. There's also holly and bells here if you really want to get technical. Motifs aside, the dark brown tights are the highlight of Apricot Nordic to me. They add a nice punch of contrast that ties into the dark brown belt. 32. Boyish Reindeer. Boyish Reindeer has two great things going for it: a reindeer theme and a unique hooded jumpsuit design. Maybe an all brown and white outfit isn't the most exciting, but we don't get a lot of shorts or hoodies in Aikatsu. We have to cherish what little we have. 31. Black Santa. I remember giving Black Santa a lot of praise in my lowly gothic ranking, and I do still really like those flared leg warmers. The snowflake print used between all of the pieces is really pretty, and I like the use of gemstones and jewelry to elevate the design further. The dark colors give it extra sleekness, which fits in just fine as the night sky backdrop for the snow motif. 30. Shiny Santa. The yellow-orange gradients in Shiny Santa's cape and shorts pull a ton of weight in adding depth to this design. The red stripe trim is also very effective at emphasizing the visual flow and cut of the pieces. Even the ribbons have been used effectively. They're in a triangular arrangement like we've talked about before, but with the two on the shorts moved to the sides, they avoid the flatness I've criticized so often. 29. Starry Holy Night. Starry Holy Night is a bit dubious since it doesn't read as that Christmassy to me, but Holy Night is a pretty direct reference, and those are star-top Christmas trees in the skirt pattern, so I guess it counts. That said, this is a beautiful dress. I'm a big fan of how the shoes tie in elements from the off-shoulder neckline, as well as the stripes from the center panel. They show a lot of attention to detail. 28 Lime Nordic. I definitely have a key bias, but that's okay, right? I really wish I'd found full body art for this design since the combination of shorts and a skirt is very interesting. The earmuffs are a little simple, yes, and the orange scarf is a little random for this palette, but it's cute. 27 Joyful Christmas. Like Garden Christmas, my main critique for Joyful Christmas is the plaid print on the skirt and boots. It's just not working for me. It looks very busy and the green is a little too bright for my taste. The top is adorable and I love the snowflake print. It's an improvement over the last version at least. 26 Nordic Night Santa. Doesn't Nordic Night Santa have such a weird but interesting silhouette? It's honestly hard to identify how all of this layering fits together, but I think it does work. Despite the complexity, the visual hierarchy is clear. Although I admit that the giant holly leaves with tiny berries at the bust make an odd focal point, they do grab the eye effectively without looking too out of place. Breaking down every detail would take me a lot longer than I have time for, but I do find it very intriguing. 25 Blue Santa. The highlight for Blue Santa is definitely those gradient boots. It's great that they match the gloves while mirroring the skirt gradient. We have the obligatory red and green ribbons plus bell accents to fit our holiday criteria, so I don't mind that they're clashing a little with the blue palette. The off-center stripe section on the skirt adds some nice asymmetry, and I also like the dramatic flared cut of the skirt. 24 Plum Nordic. It's pretty cool how creative they got with the Nordic coords in terms of cut and pattern usage. The pencil skirt in Plum Nordic is really unique for Aikatsu, as are those patterned gloves. The dark fur trim on the boots is a little isolated, but I think the matching dark trim on the gloves just barely saves it. The ribbon at the waist helps, but it's a little too light to tie in properly. 23 Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy Christmas should be proud of itself for making it this high up. Red, pink, and white may not be my favorite combination for this ranking, but the silhouette and hints of Santa inspiration are pretty cute. The boots are interesting to me. I'm glad they at least brought the belt color down to them via the edge trim and the soles. 22 Silver Snow Santa. Although my tastes run pretty traditional for the holidays, I'm really impressed when designers find good middle grounds between different styles like in Silver Snow Santa. The black gloves, boots, and belt are really important for pushing a gothic theme, and tinting the red into more of a jewel tone fuchsia adds to the alternative edge. But the rounded puff sleeves, peplum frills, and cartoony pom-poms all maintain the softness of the Christmas inspiration. 21 Navy Nordic. Navy Nordic stands out to me for the fluffy top. It's adorable. The bell-shaped silhouette is nice too, as are the subtle corset details in the salopette, but that top is so unique. Adding a necklace helps emphasize the thickness of the fabric, and it works perfectly with the fluffy trim in the bell sleeve, skirt, and boots. Amazing! 20 Winter Sprite. Winter Sprite is another Nutcracker coord, so that qualifies it as a Christmas design. The appeal is all in the graphic shapes here, especially in the skirt. By scaling up a snowflake pattern to drape on top of the skirt, you get these super iconic shapes that also remind the viewer of the tiny sized Sprite characters being referenced. Super cool! 19 Pinky Nordic. I unfortunately could not find full body art for Pinky Nordic, and it's such a shame. You can see the tops of either boots or socks in this view, so I have to imagine how those would affect the overall silhouette and visual flow. But even from what we have, the varied proportions of the pieces are super satisfying. The pink color works great here too. It's both vibrant and cozy. 18 Cool Soda Santa. Cool Soda Santa uses its fur trim strategically to create shape and extra depth within the silhouette. The oversized ribbon and bell at the neckline are a little silly, but they work because the rest of the design has relatively little contrast. The lack of contrast also allows the mixed patterns and textures to work together nicely. 17 Purple Snow Santa. I rank Purple Snow Santa a little higher because of the bold decision to pair a cape with 3/4 sleeves and wrist-length gloves. Is that cell shading, or are the sleeves also a two-tone split that matches the two-tone gloves? Then there's the chain belt with pom-pom charms that match the pom-poms on the boots, and the spidery stylized snowflake print. It all works nicely. I just find those choices interesting. 16 Rose Nordic. Rose Nordic has got to be one of the sweetest designs I've ever seen. The appeal of the fluffy trim is obvious at this point, but the subtle structure in the bodice and careful use of darker colors is very impressive. The brown ankle boots help ground the overall tone into an earthier style that works well with the natural motifs in the Nordic print. The large sections of solid color also help the design to feel more relaxed. Adorable. 15 Sweet Nordic. Sweet Nordic is just silly, not for anything super obvious, but the shape language that the mittens bring in. See how round and blobby they are? Look how the sleeves mirror that rounded blobby shape. Then look how round and blobby the boots are with their slouchy design. The pattern sections and dark accents add necessary visual structure, and this is an adorable outfit overall. I just think the blob shapes are funny. 14. Pink King Mouse. I wanted Pink King Mouse to be higher. It's also a Nutcracker design and one of my favorite designs in Aikatsu, but it's just not Christmassy enough for this list. I love the chunky boots and little gesture crown accents and all the other subtle details, but as nice as the vibrant pink and purple palette is, it doesn't conjure images of Santa or a Christmas tree. 13. Pink Purple Tree. Despite being named Pink Purple Tree, there are still no Christmas tree references in this coord either. Instead, we get a pretty bold black and gold corset that references the Santa suit. The butterflies, gemstone stars, and black ruffles aren't exactly on theme, but I do really like how the shoes tie in that corset motif. It's getting away with a lot because of the interesting way it stretched the Santa suit concept. 12. Holy Gospel Night. Holy Gospel Night is this high up because of how it refreshes traditional elements through an experimental approach. Here again, the shoes play a big role in carrying motifs from the bodice into the bottom of the design, enhancing the overall visual flow between the pieces. The draping of white ribbons on the skirt also creates lab dynamic lines that make this coord feel more energetic. I don't think this is the most cohesive design, but I do like a lot of its ideas. 11. Flora Snow Lace. Flora Snow Lace also has a lot of success with mixing traditional and modern elements. The long A-line silhouette looks very mature and almost dated, especially paired with the fluffy hat and old-fashioned pinecone motif. The silvery green color palette also looks more elegant than cute, but the heavy use of segmentation in the skirt and mix of patterns and textures between them adds just enough of a youthful and fun twist. 10. Nutcracker Prints. I have put aside my bias against punk fashion and mixed prints just for Nutcracker Prints. Obviously, this is another Nutcracker coord, and I find its literal interpretation of the theme to be perfect. The military style of the tube top and jacket look great, paired with studded navy accents. Because the Nutcracker is a familiar Christmas motif, this style feels perfectly at home in the holidays, especially with the red, green, and white color scheme and subtle plaid accents. 9. Ice Nordic Santa. Ice Nordic Santa is packed full of detail, but the visual hierarchy is crystal clear through the silhouette and color blocking. From the hat through the top to the skirt, you get a series of rounded shapes that increase in size from top to bottom like a snowman. The skirt is the most heavily patterned, so it draws the most attention. The top leaves more empty space to highlight the ribbon focal point, and then your eye travels up to the ribbon in the hat. The socks and boots also decrease in complexity as a mirror to the transition in the top. Genius! 8. Candy Snow. We're finally getting to the serious Christmas business. Do you see how Candy Snow is more than just winter? It's red and green peppermint gingerbread magic. That's important. The holiday motifs are the highlight here, and the asymmetry of this coord does a great job at balancing all the different elements. It's complex, on theme, and adorable. 7. Tree Decoration. Tree decoration is much of the same. It's so creative. I love the literal use of a decorated Christmas tree for a skirt, and the liberal use of oversized pearls helps the fluffy trim in the top, socks, and gloves stand out. All of the hair accessories match elements from the dress too. The shoes tying in both the green and yellow palette and the red and white stripes from the bodice is very appreciated too. 6. Rockracken Prints. Rockracken Prints makes me question what we're all doing here. Has everything so far just been a joke to everyone? Is this not the kind of bombastic Christmas energy we should all be striving for? The silhouette is flawless, and there is plenty of asymmetry and complexity to appreciate. The white accents are strategically placed to reduce unwanted visual noise, and the Nutcracker theme has somehow been elevated even further, and we're still not at the top. 5. Sweet Snowman. Sweet Snowman, if I'm not mistaken, won a fan design competition, and I'm so glad it did, because we get this adorable one-piece design paired with amazingly chunky boots and mittens. Between the gumdrop hat, giant scarf, snowman sleeve appliques, asymmetrical socks, and more, how am I supposed to cover everything? This is the real deal. 4. Gothic Santa. But somehow, even when we are very strong, we have to admit when we've been beaten. Is Gothic Santa the Christmas extravaganza we've been talking about? No. But is it perfect and fluffy and brings me joy? Yes. I got this full body art myself from a Photokatsu art book, and honestly, I'm so impressed with the addition of ballet wrappings in the shoes. An inspired choice. 3. Lovely Santa. I'm sure Lovely Santa is underwhelming to a lot of you, but I can't deny the appeal of the classic Santa suit dress concept. This is all you need. This is straightforward and iconic design. The double-tiered skirt adds some extra visual interest, as does the gold sparkle print in the skirt. I'd never turn down a classic outfit like this. 2. Sugar Pink Santa. Sugar Pink Santa is, for me, it's my personal Christmas outfit, and it can be pink because I'm a qualified Christmas expert. This is another design competition winner, and you could say that it looks more like a clown or a birthday design. That's fine, but it's too good at mixing playful and elegant details for me to put it any lower. I'm too weak. 1. Angelic Snow. Revealing Angelic Snow as my top Christmas coord feels so personal. After all of my strong opinions and harsh critiques, it's up here almost against my will. I just love its color palette too much, and the sweeping shapes of the robe look gorgeous. The fluffy wings look a little busy from the crisscross light strands, but I love how they match the beret and bow at the back of the waist. This design isn't perfect, but the way it combines Christmas motifs with my own personal design preferences makes it a perfect coord for me. Let me know your favorite Christmas coords in the comments below, and I'll see you in the new year for a very special deep dive. Bye bye!
Forever! Aikatsu